to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe we need to start this meeting with approval of February's minutes as well as March's. Because we got the February minutes at the last meeting. I believe that was,
Yeah, they were never
and
approved.
we didn't approve them. Does anybody have any problem with that?
Must have had them by the 10th, wasn't we?
Well, I was just looking if there was a problem with the minutes themselves.
February, not March.
Get them tonight, you ain't got no time to review them, so.
Well, the February, is there a problem with the February minutes?
No.
Okay, we'll adopt, can I have a motion to adopt
Yeah,
February?
I will.
Okay, all right, March,
Well, I think we ought to review them,
Yeah, look at that.
okay,
look at them.
give us a minute here to, I don't know,
We can wait. It was a very long week for me. My mom broke her leg. She's been in the hospital at home still. They were done. I just couldn't get them out.
we got a couple chairs here, guys. Go ahead, stand. Sorry about that.
I have to get the custodian to set the chairs back up.
Well, yeah. Well, I told him, I said, I want as few chairs as possible. We want too many people sitting there. I mean that jokingly, Isaac.
Don't, you can mean it truthfully.
I know the one thing we have to adjust here, and it's unfortunate that Mr. Nero, our superintendent of highways, isn't here. We discussed the bid openings for the highway department, and again, once again, thanks to our recording and Isaac here with his YouTube presentations. We went through, and basically what we came up with, we were gonna have the bid openings tonight, hence all the bids, based on Joe's specifications. The time period in Mesa was unclear with that, and we had discussed it previous to this. She had quizzed me, she said, well, when are we open, in May, or, the discussion was, the time frame would be based on his bid. In other words, he bid it, from May 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever it might have been that he came out with, and I don't recall. I believe it should
Well,
be in there.
Wasn't we gonna, accept the bids tonight?
Yeah,
But
we accept them
he's gonna go
based on that
based on-
date.
right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not a big
So-
deal.
It was
Not
just
a problem.
confusing to
It
me
was
when I
just-
did the minutes.
she was
I
confused
I
as
was we
to-
were opening them tonight or in May. I wasn't clear on that, and I had asked a couple times. And last
And-
year, I actually put the ad in the paper, and this year Joe did it, so I didn't talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
We kept missing each
Okay.
other, so I had no idea if
Yeah,
it
it's
happened tonight or
unfortunate.
May.
He's
Normally,
not
we
here.
need Joe anyway.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
All we can do
why-
is accept a low responsible bid.
Right,
Based on his approval of the materials as per specified, right? That's how we did it last year.
Right.
Right.
He
And that's
wasn't here
how-
last year for it either.
But at any rate, we have to change, the supervisor discussed bid openings for the highway department. Highway superintendent stated that the bid specs would go out in April and will be read at the May 8th meeting. So,
It should be March. Well, March.
the April 10th
Yeah.
meeting. And effective on the date as specified. That's the one
Just
that I have.
recorded all the bids we have here, so somebody can't flip a new one in onto us. You have to record who will send in a bid.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
well, what are we
we
gonna
opening
do? Are
them
we
tonight or
gonna
not?
open them or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And
And
we ain't gonna
again,
set no more bids.
unfortunately, our
All we
superintendent of
can do,
highways
John,
is not here.
accept a low responsible bid.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, we're opening them tonight,
Okay.
and then we're not gonna accept no more bids,
Right.
is what I'm saying.
No, it was as of 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
What it's
You
supposed to
got
be.
Yeah, all right.
I don't. Jackknife. I don't have a jackknife.
Are they allowed in public buildings?
No, and I would be the one. I would be the
In
one.
the town
who
of
would
Fremont,
look-
they are.
I'd be the one who'd forget it in my pocket and bring it to school with me or something.
Got one from Bedrock Quarry.
Okay.
Sand and stone.
Bedrock Quarry. Okay, Town of Fremont, materials and products to be bid. 1A, stone. And I don't
We're not
expect,
gonna read everything.
yeah, $9 a ton, FOB, delivered $13.30 a ton. Number one's modified crusher run, $5.75 a ton, $10.05 a ton, delivered. Two's modified crusher run, $5.75 a ton, FOB, $10.05 a ton, delivered. Number one stone, $8 a ton, $12.30 $8 a ton FOB at the plant, $12.30 a ton delivered. Number two stone, FOB $8 a ton, $12.30 a ton delivered. Number three stone, FOB $8 a ton, $12.30 a ton delivered. Number four stone, $8 a ton FOB, $12.30 a ton delivered. Light stone fill is $11 a ton FOB, $15.30 a ton delivered. Medium stone fill, $12 a ton FOB, $16.30 a ton delivered. Heavy stone fill, $12 a ton FOB, $16.30 a ton delivered. Base fill, $8 a ton FOB, $12.30 a ton delivered. Shot rock, $12 a ton FOB, $16.30 a ton delivered. Rip wrap, $12 a ton FOB, $16.30 a ton delivered. Anti-skid, $9 a ton FOB and $13.30 a ton delivered. Sand, $11 a ton FOB, $15.30 a ton delivered. Sand for ice control, $11 a ton FOB, $15.30 a ton delivered. Blacktop, no bid. Oh, okay, no bid. Sand, no bid, no bid, no bid. Scene. Okay, no, certificate. Technical materials approved, source fine course aggregates.
Basically,
These are all the qualifications, specifications, New York State and Pennsylvania State. Yeah, this is all their certifications. Anybody would like to inspect it, they're more than welcome. We'll provide
we
copies.
gotta give them into Joe. The next one is Duckman LLC.
Okay, 1A stone, delivered, all prices delivered, town to town barn, $20.61 a ton. Number one modified crusher run, $15.61 a ton. Number two modified crusher run, $11.55 a ton. Number one stone, $15.36 a ton. Number two stone, $13.80 a ton. Number three stone, $13.80 a ton. Number four stone, $13.80 a ton. Light stone fill, $13.80 a ton, or $18.80 a ton. Medium stone fill, no bid. No bid for heavy stone, no bid for base fill. Shot rock, $11.80 a ton. Rip wrap, no bid. Anti-skid, $14.90 a ton. Sand, $14.80 a ton. Sand for ice control, $18.30 a yard. That's highlighted. Here we go, Asia's number 57.
That's what you're gonna watch too. I mean,
Yards and tons, yeah, I
Yeah.
know, we're gonna definitely go over this again. 1380 a ton, blacktop, no bid, no bid, no bid. Non-closing bidding, so that's that.
Next one is E. Tetz and Sons.
That's Joe's thing.
That's what I'm looking at that. Okay, just for the record, Joe, the superintendent of highways has put in his bid, sheet, which they attached with the E-Tets bid, effective bid dates are 5/1/13 to 4/30/14. So that's how he put it, just to,
Okay.
for the record. Okay, they added all his specs that he put in here, and basically he used New York State specs. Oh, boy. Okay, now we get to the nuts and bolts of it. Okay, 1A stone, FOB $18, delivered price $25. Modified crusher run, $10 FOB, $17 delivered. Crusher run, $10 FOB, $17 delivered. Number one stone, $13 FOB, $20 delivered. Number two stone, $12 FOB, $19 delivered price. Number three stone, $11.50 FOB, $18.50 delivered. Number four stone, $11.25 FOB, $18.25 delivered price. Light stone fill, $12. Delivered price $19. Medium stone fill $18, $25 delivered. Heavy stone fill $19 FOB, $26 delivered. Manufactured sand $12 FOB, $19 delivered. 1 and 2 blend $13 FOB, $20 delivered.
Next one for sand and stone was R&H Gord.
One A's, these are all delivered prices. $23.50. Number one modified crusher run, $12.35. Number two modified crusher run, $12.35. Number one, $16.75. Number two, $16.15. Number three, $16.15. Number four, $16.15. Light stone fill, $18. Medium stone fill, $22. Heavy stone fill, $25.50. Base fill, $25.50. Shot rock, $16. Rip wrap, $25.50. Anti-skid, $15.70. Sand gray, $14.60. Ice control sand brown, $15.24. 1 and 2 blend, $16.15.
Next one was Callahan.
Okay, number 1A stone, FOB $19, delivered $21.65. Number one modified crusher run, $8.95, FOB, delivered $12.54. Number two modified crusher run, FOB $8.95, delivered $12.54. Number 1 stone, $12 FOB, $15.50 delivered. Number 2 stone, $11.50 FOB, $14.50 delivered. Number 3, $11.50 FOB, $14.50 delivered. Stone fill light, $11.50 FOB, $18.50 delivered. Stone fill medium, $14 FOB, $34 delivered. Stone fill heavy, $16 FOB, $37 delivered. Base fill, $11.50 FOB, $18.50 delivered. Shot rock, $11.50 FOB, $18.50 delivered. Rip wrap, $16 FOB, $37 delivered. Anti-skid, $11 FOB, $17 delivered. Sand, $11 FOB, $14.50 delivered. 1 and 2 blend, $12.50 FOB, $14.50 delivered.
Callahan Ice Control Sand.
Stone sand. FOB $11, delivered $14.50. They bid that separate from
I don't know why they had them separate. I picked up on that.
anti-skid, and their sand. This is stone sand. Oh, because he's been using that blue stone, the heavier stuff for the anti. That's the same price. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
Callahan for blacktop.
One base course, $60 a ton. These are all FOB prices. Type 3 binder, $60 a ton. Type 6 top course, $61.50. Type 6F top course, $61.50. Type 7 top course, $65.50. Type 7 top course, $65.50.
Ultra Power Petroleum.
Okay, this is our fuel. Fuel oil price. Here we go with this. This is a rack price deal. Fuel price at $317.42, 43-cent markup. Delivered price then becomes $360. Dyed kerosene at $360.25 plus 45-cent markup becomes $405.25. Diesel $317.42, 39-cent markup becomes $356.42. Regular gas $278.89 plus 45 cents becomes $323.89. They base this on the rack prices effective of 4/3. We have to accept based on their fixed markup, which is 43, 45, 39, and 45.
County Petroleum. If you don't bid on a rack price per individual date, one company will bid on the 3rd, the next would bid on the 5th, and there's no way this board would know which one to go bid.
County Petroleum. Holy moly, really? Okay. Price posted daily, Journal of Commerce, fuel oil, diesel off-road, New York tank reseller, Lowe's plus 25 cents a gallon. Wow. On-road clear diesel, New York tank reseller low plus 25 cents a gallon. Caro, used to mix with on-road, off-road diesel during extreme temperatures to avoid gelling of fuel, Albany low plus 35 cents a gallon. Regular gasoline, 38 plus 38 cents a gallon. Quite a difference. Let's see if there's any more. No, it's plus his bid.
Yeah, that's the only way fair to the petroleum companies to bid over their
Quite a
markup
difference.
on rack price.
That's all the bids we have? Okay.
That's it.
It's unfortunate that Joe, Mr. Nero isn't here. In the past, as we have,
I'll make
Or Xerox each one of these for your office
I will.
we have to have
and put them,
originals.
the copies
in
on
the safe.
Joe's desk as soon as possible.
Yeah, I need a motion to accept the low bids based on approval per specs of the
You got it.
superintendent of highways.
Yep.
Is there any questions from anybody here who had bids put in? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I approved.
Okay. I hope you'll bear with me because that's all the reading capabilities I had for the evening, so it's gonna be bad from here. Okay, last month we talked about flooring in the office building and the addition. It's all completed. Matter of fact, there's a voucher in there for $2,700 and some dollars. It's completed. The new code enforcement officer's office is done. The tile's done in the vestibule and the hallway. And unfortunately, it all took place in the same few days, so the bathroom's done and operational. The old bathroom is now defunct. I turned the water off to it Sunday. I took the door off. I haven't gutted it yet, but we're gonna pull the old stuff out and make a little lunch area in there for a coffee pot and whatnot, so it's not on the zoning board chairman's desk anymore. All right, let's see. Okay, highway department contract. I believe I've given copies to a few of you. I run into Paul. For you. Basically, what they're looking for was to raise the buyout from 2,000 to 2,500. That's a case where we have two of the highway guys who don't need the insurance. Their spouses have it. They wanted to raise it to 3,000, and we thought that was a little bit much, so we said 2,500 we'd go to. It's a huge savings to the insurance fund for the highway, because even a single plan's $7,000 or $8,000, so actually closer to $9,000. The other thing was they wanted the day after Thanksgiving, which I don't imagine there's a lot of productivity, but in the case where there's snow, we said that they would have to use another day. Superintendent of Highways had an issue with it, and so we wrote in there that if they had to work on that day, that they would get the day after the 4th of July. And the other big thing was the wage schedule. They wanted a $1 increase. This is a 2-year contract. At least, you know, I was not crazy about doing anything because there's people still losing their jobs and going backwards. They agreed to 50 cents. This whole thing is based upon them changing to MVP, which is in the new contract. And by the highway changing to MVP from the Empire plan, it's a floating scale, but we're looking at probably $20,000 savings a year. It's huge. Town of Calhoun has done it. Town of Delaware is looking at it. Town of Coshecton has done it. We told them that was a big hinge in this. The concessions that we made with them are gonna cost us between $8,000 and $9,000 a year, so it's still a big savings. Where the real savings comes into it, this high deductible plan for family plans is $5,000 deductible. For singles, $2,500 deductible. What is done is the town will issue a debit card in the amount of the deductible, and they will be made whole for that, so there's no cost to them. The gamble in the savings is that they won't use up the deductible. It's even if they use the entire deductible, it's between $18,000 and $20,000 savings. If they don't, you're saving a lot more. So it's a win-win situation. The other savings comes in that this agreement is with AFSCAM Local 750, which is 5 employees. The superintendent of highways then, who's also getting the Empire plan and the family plan, which incidentally costs the town over $20,000 a year, we would move him in as well. And that would be a separate issue, aside from this, because he's the only one who gets health insurance as an elected or appointed official in the town. We would move him into this insurance. And I discussed this with him, not blindsiding him with this. So when you add that in, you're going, it's 20,600, I think, for the family plan. The big thing with MVP is it's not either a single or a family. They have a single and then they have 2 and then you add on, they have different plateaus. But there would be a big savings there as well. So, you know, John and I met with the highway guys. I don't know, do you have anything to put into this?
We were saving quite a bit of money on it, so.
Yeah, we're saving a lot of money,
Yeah.
actually. But like I said, I told them it was based on the health insurance. And they said they would do it. They checked it out with Calhoun, and they're agreeable to it. It's just a matter of us, okaying it. Anybody else have anything from the board to say about it? You have anything, Paul?
I'm really happy with it.
No.
You know, we're based on, the 50 cents an hour is our 2%.
It's a
Which
little
is-
over 2, but yeah.
Yeah, 2 to 3%. That's our New York State tax cap. But the most employees will get the most bang for the buck out of that. As far as an extra holiday, how many sick days, personal days, and vacation days do they get?
Well, I have that in here. It's,
You
they
know,
get a fair bit. It's
it's-
a little bit less than the county, I guess. They do okay with it. I'm not gonna say it's not a bad job that way.
Well, I go back to a time when Joe Winkler was still supervisor. And rather than getting all large salary increase, he just gave them another holiday. Well, now it's coming back to bite the board in the butt. Because Joe's gotta take and schedule July is vacation for everybody, or otherwise you don't end up with a crew.
Well, the summertime historically is when these guys take their time, because, let's
Well,
face it,
it's
they earn their
mandated,
money in the
so-
winter.
You know, with the other personal days, sick days, and vacation days, the day after Thanksgiving, I have a problem with.
Well,
If they want a personal day, and I don't know how many they got, that's what I'd go for me. As far as the longevity schedule, our past history, our former supervisor, Martin Meyer, he retired. Luke McAdams retired. Jim Hall retired. Jeff Sattler, he quit. Stress. George Hess, stress. Wasn't there Steffens too?
Yeah.
I think that was stress. And right now our crew, we robbed employees from Gore, Ken Redard, Town of Delaware, and we have no problem getting good qualified men. You know, so it's not a question that we're begging for new employees. They're out there and it's a recession, they are looking for work. You know, basically, the board has reduced Joe's labor force from 7 down to 5. If we keep giving more days away, we're gonna have to reduce it down to 4 to stay within our taxes.
Well, you're saying don't give them the day after Thanksgiving, but give them another personal day. It's the same thing.
I don't know how many they got now.
Yeah.
Now, that information I don't have. But as far as another holiday, or if they
I
don't
think
have
they
any
get-
personal days,
I think they get 3, don't they? I'm not sure on that, but I think.
you know, that's,
okay.
you know, it's,
4 days.
4 personal,
Yeah.
how many sick?
One.
One every month.
One a
No,
month?
no. Pay, vacation, personal leave. Sick leave.
Back page.
Recognition, see, no, we got, yeah, the way they do that.
There it is.
Sick leave, plans accumulate, yeah, 1 month.
12 a year.
Maximum of 12 days per year.
Vacation?
Oh, jeez.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 and then a maximum of 3.
Yeah.
Benefits.
Goes by how many?
Pay during vacation. 1 week before leaving, scheduling, vacation schedule, no. Unless 9 months preceding commencing. Okay, 10 work days. 6 to 10 years, 10 work days. 5 years shall receive 5 work days. And then, which is a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks after 10 years.
1 week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So senior man's got 15, 16, 11.
There's no doubt that they have a very good benefit package.
Our senior man's got 32 days off a year now.
Yeah, they have a pretty good setup that way, yeah.
And to offer them a day after Thanksgiving, I think it's too much for the taxpayers.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from. I've been employed by the town for 37 years. I didn't get them kind of raises.
Okay.
Can I add something, George?
Is anybody, this discussion, this is a board decision at this point. Do you, what do you have?
Well, just, you know, back in 2011, when the contract was made a 2-year contract instead of a 1-year contract, that $1,200 buyout for health insurance was raised to $2,000. Now they want $2,500 for a buyout. It's just an awful big buyout.
Well, the
with that.
insurance has almost doubled since then.
But the buyout shouldn't have to change with the insurance. The
It
buyout
saves
is a
us a
simple,
ton of
they'll
money.
take the buyout whether it's $1,200 or $2,500.
That may very well be.
It's just, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And that it was a 2-year contract, and both those years, I think it was a 2% pay raise,
Yeah.
and then a 1% pay raise the second year. And the highway workers are the only folks in the town who've had a raise in,
Oh, believe me,
How many years?
I was very vocal about that back then, because my pay is going the other way. In a huge percentage wise, I know that.
and if you weren't to pay them so many benefits, maybe you could have that 6th or 7th guy back on road.
No,
Well,
no,
I know
that's
that with all the
60,000 a
other
year.
things.
You gotta remember, we cut these guys down from 6 men down to 5. It's been 6 since I've been here, and they have not made any complaints about it. I'm basing this on the crew of guys that we do have, because it's the best crew in my memory. They really do a good job.
Go along with that.
You know, it is a union negotiation, so you have to negotiate it based on, could be the best guys, could be the worst guys, I understand that. I'm basing this on, we went from 6 down to 5. Between health insurance and benefits, probably saved the town, because you still have a part-time guys. You've had part-time guys, probably 25,000 a year. We're gonna save through this insurance deal, like I said, a minimum of another 20,000 a year. And that, then what they're asking for is probably, I figured out, it's about 9,000 a year additional. That's still $35,000. And these guys are doing stuff they don't have to be doing. They're doing the mechanical work. They're doing stuff that they could refuse to do, quite honestly, if they wanted to really push the union deal. So is my relationship close to them in that I see what they're doing? Maybe I'm soft on my negotiating with them, maybe. But I see a savings to our taxpayers, who we represent, as well as we also have to provide for the highway department the best that we can for them to do the best job they can for the taxpayers. And they've been doing that. We have very little complaints. The roads are clear. We have better roads than most of the county roads in our town. So to argue it one way or the other, I get what you're saying, and I get what Paul's saying. I didn't think it was an ugly deal. I know everything you give today, you can't take back tomorrow. Understood. I understand that. I don't think this is terrible. Like I told them, we were gonna hold them flat. That was my plan, not to hurt them, but obviously the town's hurting. But
That's what I say. I understand inflation, and the most bang for the buck for the individual employees, the best we can do is on the pay rate. You know, otherwise, what we're talking, 1 or 2 men.
yeah. Paul?
I think it's good.
We don't, we're gonna be fighting them all over again, ain't we?
Well, it's it's a tough
Get
situation.
back to the drawing board.
It depends on which, do you feel strongly enough about this to put in a form of motion that we go back? Because, we're early in I wanted to get this over with, because I have a tentative March 1st date with the insurance company to switch them over to MVP, because initially, the monthly saving, May 1st is huge, like I said, it's a lot of money. even with the deductibles, having to fill the deductibles, which we don't have to do right away, it's a big savings. But I also don't wanna rush into anything to do that, because, you know, I'm pretty focused on the insurance savings, which is big. Do you feel strongly enough about it that we go back with what you're saying and negotiate, against the day after Thanksgiving and what else did you, was that your big thing?
The longevity.
Oh, the longevity?
Creating a 25-year plan for $1,500 a year longevity.
You're
payment.
adding $300 a year for somebody who's been here over 25 years.
Just abolish the whole 25 years.
'Cause that's a
you have
3-year
10 year, 15 years, and 20-year longevity.
So that $300 a year,
Yeah.
so that's 300.
I don't
As
think
I
that's,
say,
I
we
don't
had-
think that's gonna hurt us. I mean, if the guy spends 25 years, I mean, give him an extra $300. You know, that's the way that's the way I feel, I mean,
Well, I hear where you're coming
know?
from, John, but I'm just looking at the
Yeah,
paying
yeah,
this tax bill.
I know what you're saying.
Can I ask a question? If you delay this, and you lose a month of insurance savings, what does that equal compared to how much you'd save if you went for a stronger negotiation and you didn't give them the extra day off?
It's probably negligible, because, well, first off, the day after Thanksgiving, I can tell you right now, depending on who the superintendent of highways is and what's going on, they may very well have off anyway. And secondly, the monthly startup is not going to sink the town. Point well taken. That's why I asked Mr. Kellum if, he felt strongly enough about us looking more into that. Like I said, none of this, the biggest cost to us is the 50-cent raise. Because it varies from about a 1.9% to a 3% raise based on pay scale.
I'll make a motion that we accept it.
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
We have a second from Paul. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. So moved. All right. All right. Okay, now, I'd like to have approval to switch the superintendent of highways insurance to the same plan. Motion?
Sounds good, I'll
Yeah.
make a motion, yeah.
All in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? Carried.
I'm in favor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I need a approval to hire a prosecutor for the justice court. The DA's no longer gonna prosecute, send prosecutors for traffic court. I spoke with John Kramer about somebody, I talked with a Liberty police officer about conflicts and whatnot. I'm waiting for a call. I should get back tomorrow or the next day from the DA's office for approval. A lot of the towns use lawyers. It can be very costly. The big thing is negotiating these tickets. You can't plea bargain. The judge cannot plea bargain them down. So it's, believe they call an advocate. Help me out here, Lori, feel free. You know about this.
Well, they hire a specific attorney for each town.
Yeah.
Ken Klein does a lot of them, he does them for town of Delaware. Each town has their own.
But what I checked, it doesn't have to be a lawyer. It just has to be somebody who's capable or has a background in it. Lawyers don't like to hear that, I'm sorry.
I
No.
volunteered to do it for the town
Well-
a year ago.
Well,
That's what I'm going back.
We're
on.
certainly open, we're certainly open to that still.
I made
But we,
that offer, nobody ever said yes, go right ahead, so.
well, we'd certainly be open to that because, I'd like to just have a town approval to get somebody to do it, obviously. You know, we have to do something because these traffic tickets that come in, they can't do anything with
I
them.
thought that was settled last year already.
No, we never, nothing was ever done with it. And we need to do something with it. We obviously have to, have somebody agreed upon to do it.
Well, I'll make a motion that we do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Do I, well, well, we have to have a negotiated cost and whatnot. Yeah. Are you interested in this still, Laura?
I volunteered my services for free to the town.
Okay.
I just never heard, that was at the January, meeting of 2012, and then I didn't hear anything. And
I
so-
recall you talking
I
about
thought
it.
it was settled back then.
Yeah, well, we never followed up on it, so.
Right.
We really haven't had, you know, much of a court system till now, so, in the last year or
Just
so.
name more, you guys are.
I have a motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
That was a second. All in favor, aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, took care of that. Beautiful. Fremont Center Post Office meeting, they're gonna cut them down to 4 hours a day. At least they're gonna keep them open. It's up in the air as to how many hours, or, I mean, when the hours will be. I'm sure they'll post it. I'm glad they're keeping them open. Openburg's already down to 2 hours, I
That, well,
think.
I know.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing will be short, smaller, shorter hours.
Are they closing Saturdays?
No,
I don't think so, no.
regular hours.
No, regular hours, 4 hours. They were already at 4 hours. I think it's gonna be 6 days a week, 4 hours.
But you'll still be able to get to your box? The doors
Yeah.
are gonna have an automatic lock?
They did that
You
with
know, until
Hankins
5
too.
o'clock?
Yeah, so you can get in to get your mail,
They do that.
or drop mail off for that matter. That's- Okay,
Or 5 o'clock, I don't know if it will.
committee reports, I already said the bathroom in the new building is done, completed. Old business, Delaware Valley School, is in contract. A woman whom I've not met, and I'm not even 100% her name, has a tentative closing date of July 1st. I've called the IDA a couple times. They have no formal plan right now. But she's looking at like 300 rooms, which would be numerous dormitories. There'll be some zoning issues, which the zoning board has not been really officially contacted, other than George Fulton came and spoke to the zoning board. He's, as far as I know, is not working for them. Planning board, I apologize, planning board. There's nothing in the works. I had to beg and go to whoever I could to find this information out. So it is in the works. She did sign the contract. Finally, the realtor contacted me who sold it, and there is something there. It does look promising. I'm cautiously optimistic. They're a for-profit school, and there'll be a lot of support jobs, and you know, it's for Asian students. I believe them to be wealthy, affluent Asian people. It was Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, and they want their children educated here in America by American teachers. And it looks good. They have supposedly, according to George Fulton, they have a pretty good track record. They're for profit. It sounds good. Sounds great to me, actually.
The
But
for-profit is a big deal.
oh my word.
Until IDA takes all the tax.
It's-
Back on the tax rolls.
Yeah, it looks good. I talked to the assessor about it. He said it would be a huge shot for us. And incidentally, grievance day is next month, but he says we're looking at about $1 million right now. He's added to the tax base.
Is it an IDA project or not an IDA project? It's not-
She had spoken to the IDA previously,
Okay.
but there's nothing formal, is the way it was expressed to me. They're pretty tight-lipped until they tell you what they took out of your pocket usually. But I'm keeping as tight with them as I can to keep up on it. My conversation with the IDA was if we get our initial money out of what's there now and they broker some kind of deal, sales tax, mortgage tax, and they bring, we'll see. You know, we obviously don't want to give away your tax dollars, but we also are very optimistic about this. You know, this will be great. I believe. All right, let's see, where are we at here? Okay, correspondence, I skipped right over. Okay, Sullivan County Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board. Okay, I have a letter here from Robert Kaplan. Sullivan County Agricultural District Number 1 is currently undergoing its 8-year review, as required by Section 303 of the New York State Agriculture and Markets Law. Agricultural District Number 1 includes various parcels within the town of Fremont. The 8-year review provides landowners with an opportunity to either renew their commitment to keep their property in the Ag District or to have it removed. All landowners within Ag District 1 are being notified by mail of the 8-year review and will receive a review form to complete if they wish to request for addition or removal of parcels. If the town of Fremont owns any parcels within the district, separate notification, blah, blah, blah. The letter will be available. I have here a Sullivan County Ag District 1 review worksheet. If anybody is concerned whether they're in the Ag District or not in it, and I think the whole Hardenberg patent is in it, I believe. I think all of the town is in it.
Majority of the old farms are.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested, we'll make copies, but everybody should be notified. I don't know all the benefits. I do know it's part of the 239 review when you do something.
To get an ag exemption.
Yeah, and there's a lot to
be
it.
in there.
There's a lot of things that correlate to this. We received our check from the mortgage tax from Sullivan County for the first quarter. This should have been GL invoice. Yeah, first quarter, it was $7,300. We received from the IDA as a welcome gift from the railroad $900 as part of their pilot program. Yeah, I know. You'd probably worth $1 million. There you go. There's the IDA again, right? I also received correspondence from the legislature in reference to the emerald ash borer. April 12th, Friday. I'm pleased to announce the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation offered 2-part training on the emerald ash borer on Friday in the legislative hearing room at 12 p.m. 100 North Street, Monticello. DEC is working on a grant from the United States to train counties, municipalities about the emerald ash borer, an invasive forest pest. The first detector portion of the training from 12 to 1 is designed to increase emerald ash borer awareness among anyone who cuts or trims trees, helping them to better recognize and report signs of the emerald ash borer. Early detection is vital to lessening the impacts of the emerald ash borer to our communities, so this portion of the training will include emerald ash borer biology, identification, as well as firewood regulation and quarantine information. Planning portion from 1:15 to 2 is designed for anyone who has a role in creating community preparedness plans. We'll demonstrate the importance of being proactive in emerald ash borer planning, ultimately saving communities money both directly and indirectly. Agricultural planner, Sullivan County Division of Planning, Environmental Management. Phone number and address is on correspondence. Okay, Cornell University Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County. As you may be aware, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County is currently facing a financial hardship. To deal with recent budget cuts, staff has been furloughed 1 day per week, effective April 15th, leaving the office open only 4 days a week. These staff reductions in time will result in some decline of services in our traditional core areas of agriculture, family consumer science, and 4-H youth development. This letter is an emergency appeal to our supporters in the community. We are reaching out for immediate help from families, farmers, homemakers, and everyone touched by our programs here at Cornell Cooperative Extension. To overcome this crisis, we have set fundraising goal of $10,000 in the next month, so the organization can continue to serve Sullivan County at its full capacity by ending the furlough as soon as possible. We ask you to consider donating whatever amount you can afford, knowing that every dollar given will help and will be appreciated. Please know that we will also be coming back to ask for more help when we kick off our year-long centennial fundraising campaign to celebrate our 100th anniversary. This appeal will begin in June and set the direction for the next 100 years of an innovative educational programming at Cornell Cooperative Extension, Sullivan County. We recognize that this is a difficult financial time for anyone, but ask you to consider making a special donation to the extension Sullivan County at this time. Thank you, etc. And there's a newspaper clipping here that was in the record. Sullivan County CCE to seek donations to limit cuts. They need $9,000 a month to operate. Okay, that takes care of that. All right. As far as my report, Doris is working on a Renaissance project out here at the Veterans Park. I believe that there was that and something else.
That was part with Jim was over at the town building, just donating some bluestone slabs to lay in front of that stone, so they're at least a little patio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
and
So
putting some plantings.
To stand there.
Yeah, and putting additional plantings from the stone to where the pine trees are. Renaissance won't award those projects until the end of the month. If they do, if they don't, no.
The plants should be deer-proof.
Absolutely.
Barbed wire, maybe? Yeah.
110 volts.
As I stated before, the town hall and the addition we pretty well got it finished up. The highway superintendent, well, we spent the first half of the meeting with that. Town clerk?
I just want to say the program that the tag grant from the UDC, I've been speaking back and forth with the guy. He just wants to make sure that we have all the right stuff before he makes it specialized per town, which is kind of cool. So I've been talking with him back and forth, and he's sending it. So it should be something I could do with him, and he can train me online. So it should be hopefully next month.
So we'll get licenses and stuff like that. That'd be great. Code enforcement, Jim McElroy is sick. I know he's got numerous permits going. We have a couple of houses. And
good news.
Yeah, hence the $1 million addition to our tax base, which, will be great depending on what happens on grievance day. Assessor, as I said, he's looking at about $1 million right now. The planning board, I don't believe there's anything I don't believe there's anything going on other than we had talked about some trailers.
That's already, I think, been resolved.
That's been.
Okay.
So, leave the record show that we got a new chairman.
Oh, Jim Smith. Oh, yes. Yeah, I thought we did cover
Put it up
but-
on.
on the website, you mean? Oh, do you have that on there? You have his information?
I don't have his information. I meant to ask.
It used to be Marianne Garcia asked me.
Oh, for this.
She won the subdivision. And I said the best one to contact would be Len. He would get you in the right direction.
It's Jim Smith, but I don't know if he wanted to have a town number or.
Yeah, I have all those information.
Oh,
Yeah,
give it to me.
it's on, okay. ZBA?
Nothing at this point in time.
Beautiful. Jack Nipplot is also sick.
Thanks for the job done on Lake Inwanda.
Legislators not here. Okay, Office for the Aging and
We're here.
Quickies. Was it May 13th? That's the day after Mother's Day. The annual RSVP luncheon will be held for the volunteers, etc. That's just, out there. That'll be the 40th anniversary luncheon for the RSVP program. If any guests want to go, I think the price for the ticket is $25. This year they raised it. We didn't vote on it, but they raised it. Okay, there is, which I will give to Mesa here to hang tomorrow, please. The caregiver support quarterly. I'm just going to tell you the highlights. If you're interested, read about it and/or call. Care for veterans facing illness and death. There will be a program Monday, April 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. The Hospice Foundation of America is giving this. There's another little issue here, April 15th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Bathing Without a Battle. Actually, that goes to the seniors. Office of the Aging is for the seniors, and the Retired Volunteer Senior Program, RSVP, also is for the seniors. The next, Are They in Pain? Monday, May 20th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. That is free. Alzheimer's Association and the Caregiver Resource Center, Bonnie Lewis, the registered nurse in charge of that program, will be giving a discussion, and that will be held at the Cornell Cooperative Extension, and it includes a light dinner. Reservations are required for adequate supplies. There is a phone number for you to call at the Cooperative Extension program. And there's an article here on mental health caregiving. And another important item, don't fall for health fraud scams. This is more and more important than a lot of people think. My wife happened to see something of this nature happening at the bank, and this came up at our RSVP meeting Monday, where a member of the council was talking to this individual. She received a check almost between $9,000 and $10,000 that she was to cash, and it would be hers. But prior to that, she had to send a check from her own money to this organization. You know where that goes. That goes in that person's pocket, and the check, even though it looks legitimate, is not legitimate. So if you have elderly people that receive something like that, tell them to check it out with somebody that is more efficient, like with the banker. And at the bank, the banker did tell them they did not want to write out the check, the cashier's check, unless this person brought in a member of their family or somebody substantial to verify and give the approval of writing out this check to be sent off to an unknown company. The other thing to look out for, which I noticed, the letterhead specified this organization in, I believe, in Indiana. It was mailed from Canada with a Canadian stamp. First clue. Second clue. A company in the United States is not going to go to Canada to mail. I believe the Canadian government has been advised of this, and so has, I believe, the Attorney General down in Washington about this. And that also can fall under the fraud scams of the health. Another thing which is important is warning signs for drivers with dementia. And I sometimes don't think that's only seniors, the way some people drive. There's a whole list here to be looking out for with people that might be getting dementia. Decrease in confidence while driving, riding the brake, other drivers honking at this individual, and there's a whole 20 items here that you should look at. So feel free to make copies, whatever the town charges for copies. I only get one of these. It's unfortunate. There is a caregiver spring renewal, Tuesday, June 18th, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be held in Claryville. What hits me is we'll enjoy those marshmallows again over an open campfire. It's basically something for caregivers where they can relax, have a meeting. It's a retreat, actually, for caregivers. And whether we know it or not, we do have a lot of caregivers in Sullivan County. And we do have a lot of volunteers that do driving for the seniors to get them to the doctor's appointments, hospital appointments, shopping, etc. The county also supplies a bus for the shopping. You call and make your appointment. The drivers usually are reimbursed by the mileage they drive. We have more and more drivers that are not taking the driving allowance. They're doing it free. This is well, not this, but the crunch has been put on the RSV program from the county also. Our funds have been cut back. Hopefully it'll get back up there again one of these days. If you have any questions, I'm available. We do supply, when I say we, that's the Office of the Aging and basically the RSVP program, which is under the jurisdiction of the Office of the Aging. We do have Meals on Wheels, and they do supply a program for meals at community centers, senior centers, which Fremont does not have. But if there is anybody interested in trying to do something, I think I mentioned this 2 years ago, etc., in this building or another building locally, I'm sure we can work something out with the people at the Office of the Aging, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I'm not sure.
I always need volunteers.
Of course, all the organizations do. It's a dwindling pool that we have to draw from.
Yes.
Okay, does anybody from the audience have anything specific that, Doris?
I have a couple of things. First off, I went to the post office situation. I'll try to be quick. Last year, there were 4 full-time positions that were lost in the 4 post offices that we have here. The post offices within a 10-mile radius that were reduced, there were 5 of them. 2 of them were in the town of Fremont. Now, perhaps the town of Fremont needs to look at, maybe we are going to lose all our post offices and become Callicoon and Roscoe. Just what makes a town and a hamlet. It's just an interesting thought. Last month I mentioned the review of the emergency plan for the town. that you were going to check into? Okay. The Hungry Hill Compressor Station project, that's due to break ground in May. They want it online in November. You were talking about having training with the fire departments with Millennium. Has there been any?
I'm actually awaiting a phone call back from them.
Okay.
They've been in contact with the Long Eddy Fire Department, and as far as I know, they're moving forward with the project.
Okay. You talked about your $35,000 in savings for the highway department from changing your health insurance this time. Maybe that would be a way to hire that sixth person. That $35,000
I don't see that.
would be a nice thing so that you have 2 full crews doing activities out on the roads.
They seem to be doing a pretty good job.
They're doing a good job considering what they have. May 18th, or the third Saturday in May, is usually Town Cleanup Day. Is the town of Fremont going to have a Town Cleanup Day this year?
I was waiting to hear if we were gonna get an allotment from the county for our tonnage, because it costs us several $1,000s to do that. And I know myself, I cart my stuff to dump at my own expense. This is an expense to the, to the taxpayers. But it's also not the worst thing in the world, probably keep stuff off the road. I actually talked to the highway guys today about it. We usually do it the 18th, would be the Saturday before Memorial Day. It's, I don't know what the board feels about it.
If we don't get anything from the county, George, I'd look into Beach Lake, see if they drop,
Drop dumpsters?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what
You know.
we did last year.
We looked
Well,
into
that
it.
was
Provide,
talked about
yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
but last year we used
We used our
highway
trucks.
department.
Yeah, we used our trucks, yeah.
But the county didn't provide any.
They did, I think we got a little over 4 ton.
Okay.
It cost us, I forget how much, because I turned the contracts in with the county, which is basically permits for us to take our trucks into the landfill, which is quite interesting because anybody can just go in there except for as far as I know, the highway we have to have permits for our trucks. I had to furnish a certificate of insurance with them and sign a contract. So that's been done for several months. But of course, the county, I only got the snow and ice contract, I think it was December of last year, so things have been a little bit off with them. I guess what I would ask, does the town board want to tentatively schedule the 18th, I believe it is, of May, which would be the Saturday before Memorial Day?
Well, if the county don't allot you
We do
anything,
have a meeting before that.
how much would that run into?
Well,
We have a
I
meeting.
mean, you paid, what'd you say, a couple thousand last
it
year?
was either around 17 or 1800. I
Yeah.
want to say, because we went over. It wasn't astronomical in the scheme of things, but it is an expense. The 18th is a Saturday before Memorial Day weekend. It's the weekend before Memorial Day. I know that's when we've always done it in the past.
We do have a board meeting before that. I mean, we get the paper.
Yeah, and people are usually pretty diligent about finding out when it is. I've already had phone calls. The board meeting is the 8th prior to that, which is a week and a half prior to it, so. I don't know, what is the board's,
See what
See what
happens
the
between
county,
now, yeah, see what happens with the county between now and then, and see what you can do on Beach Lake if there's a difference.
On the second floor.
And we still got 2 weeks
got,
notification at the next meeting.
Just Sanitation also has these dumpsters,
well, we
rollbacks,
could look around for, yeah.
roll-offs, and
Yeah.
he goes to Beach Lake anyway.
Yeah, the problem I know we had in the past and the other towns have is you gotta have them there to pick them up. We put them in the trucks with the loader and then they pull them around and that's it. These guys, you take a dumpster right now and put it over there across the street and tomorrow it'll be full. No, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I've been
I know,
there.
right.
I've been there, seen it, had it happen to me already. That's the only problem you got, somebody can pull up, they'll mound it up, lean it against it. So that's the only thing is that whole, you gotta really be on top of that. But still, it's worth, we should look into it. Absolutely, you know.
Well, that was what I
I
said,
think
you got
that-
time to look into it, and even if we
We got a week and
do
a half.
something, yes, we
I'll
got
have-
plenty of
I'll
time to
have
get it in
50
the
phone
paper after
calls
next
by
meeting.
then. They'll be calling her, you know how that goes, everybody, and I don't, you know, it's
I've gotten
fine.
phone calls.
It does keep a certain amount of the crap off the roads and whatnot, it keeps people's lawns a little
Yeah,
bit
and there's
cleaner.
a service to,
I
Yeah.
like it.
it's well worth the expense as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
So we're gonna see what we get for tonnage, look in the dumpsters, I'll talk to Joe about it. And we'll make a determination at the next meeting.
Mhm.
Yes?
Mhm.
That's a motion from you?
Yep.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. It's now official.
Sorry.
Okay.
Comment?
Yeah.
Your, excuse me, they did come around and sweep my little road
Yeah.
around the lake. It's not my road, it's your road. And, but there's still a lot of potholes there. So maybe if,
Well, if we have dump day, Chuck, we're not gonna be able to fill your potholes. What do you want us to do?
Just saying.
Do you want potholes filled or do you want dump day?
I don't know, I'm saying, maybe some of that dump you take here.
I'm
No,
sure they have plans to.
No, I know that, I just wanted to say that they were around today, they're very diligent in what they do.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they
great
did
crew.
I wanted to make that known.
Thank you.
And also like the post office, our post office in Callicoon Center also is being cut back to about 4 hours a day,
It's a trend that's gonna take
Yeah.
place.
all over.
Doris, were you done with your stuff?
I was.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
Kathy,
You sit next to me
Powers has
again.
been patiently waiting, she had her
Yes,
hand up.
very patient.
Sorry.
That's okay. But Chuck mentioned something about the space. What is the policy for using this public room, this room for public
It's
meetings?
used for town board meetings.
I mean, is there a,
and
I mean,
official town, planning board, zoning board of appeals, voting.
right?
I don't know that there's an official policy.
The only other thing I can think of off the top of my head is caucuses.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically, it has to go for board approval.
Oh, okay.
Is there something
No,
that you
no, I
had
was just
specific in
wondering
mind?
Because we really, as far as a space for community meetings, like say for seniors. I mean, what's
Up at
what's
the
the,
Methodist, the Fremont Community Free Church, there's a hall that Marcy South paid for that is quote-unquote a senior
Oh,
center.
really?
Yes,
Is it free?
yep.
That's when Marcy.
Oh,
Nothing's
does it-
free in life, Chuck.
oh, but you're talking about the heat and all that stuff, if it was a winter thing. But I mean, who maintains that building now?
The Fremont Community Free Church. takes
Oh,
care of it.
okay,
You got Mike Leroy, does a lot of stuff there.
okay.
Jack Niflot.
So I was just curious if this hall, if this room is available for any, I think. outside of
Officially,
town
it's supposed to be
business.
used for official town
Okay.
business.
Okay,
And that's, based on the port. I don't know that we have an official, policy for that. Probably should be, but I believe the state probably dictates. It's owned by the taxpayers.
At one
Right.
time, the Ladies' Aid,
Yeah.
I don't know if they called them calico
oh, yeah?
geese or just
They met
what.
here?
Yeah. I mean, we allow like the Fremont, for the parade committee, we do stuff.
Uh-huh.
So there are things that are in
Okay.
official status. I mean, we're not looking to exclude anybody out of it, but
No,
we
no,
also
no, I
have
was
to be
just
careful
curious.
as to what we take on because of liability,
Because it
upkeep,
does-
and
yeah,
expense.
yeah.
So, it is up to the board to decide that because we are stewards of the taxpayers' property.
Right. And also, the new space is across the street here in the offices. I was wondering, would it be possible to invite the DMV to come over to our town, like they do in Jeffersonville and Hortonville, like maybe once or twice a month?
That'd be up to the town clerk, because that's who usually deals with that.
I mean, is that be
If they-
something, I
if-
mean,
If Mesa was interested in that, that would be,
It's fine as long as they can be there without me being there, cause I can't be there during the day.
right, the way they have to have the.
I mean, in the summertime, they could certainly do it, and I could be there during the day, but
something we could look
during the
into. It's
school year.
not a
it
terrible
becomes
idea,
complicated.
you know?
I mean, it
Certainly makes it a lot easier, especially like seniors and folks who, I mean, let's face it, it's not the easiest thing in the world to go to Monticello, you know? Because I know they are in Callicoon and Delaware. That is a very handy thing.
Yeah.
Very handy thing, yeah.
Never
So-
remember when it is though.
Joe Purcell, I took my permit down in Burnett's General Store when Joe Purcell was the
Is
clerk.
that something you wanna look into, or you want me to call them? Okay. I just thought, you know, it's such a nice building now, and there's have these.
No, it's not a bad idea, 'cause they-
Yeah, and I think they just need internet.
Internet and electric,
Yeah.
no, it's a great idea. That would be a great service.
have those available.
Yes.
At one time, the mobile clinic was
And a
stopping
bathroom.
here, and nobody used it.
Well, there's some of those things that, yeah. Well, we usually group, I think, with Delaware,
Yeah.
kind of Delaware, yeah.
No,
Most
they
of the
had a
stuff that we do, we-
Mobile job.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And just one more quick thing, there's gonna be a community picnic up at Crystal Lake on May 4th, rain date the next day, the 5th, it's gonna be like a community picnic and cleanup day. Just a family fun sort of, event. And
Okay,
bring it-
Crystal
bring it-
Lake?
Yes, Crystal Lake on the 4th, bring a dish to share.
4th of what?
May, Saturday.
Sure to invite Jason.
Oh, yes, we've already, yes. Larry told me to feed him.
I saw your one post, and I'll put it on our Facebook page.
Okay, does anybody else have anything? Lori?
Yeah, I wasn't here last month, did the board make a decision on the Smith Lake Road?
We were just waiting, all we need is a description and an abandonment by the town. Our lawyer will prepare that, and then that's, yeah, it's approved, because Joe, what was his exact?
His exact terms were, let's do us a favor. I didn't write it,
George,
I
did you
didn't quote it.
contact Michael Dale, or
I have
just
not,
someone-
because I was waiting
You
for,
need from me, okay.
yeah,
All right, very good.
Okay, discuss, the highway superintendent stated the road is not even being plowed at this point because it is too difficult. It would benefit the town if they could abandon this road. We'll give the town the specs on this, and then a public meeting. We'll have to have a public hearing set on it. So if you're gonna go forward with this, we can set a public hearing for next month.
Could we do that?
Sure,
At the
absolutely,
May meeting?
absolutely.
And I'll
Lori,
get-
could you call me just so I can, when I do it in the paper, it's like more specific than just Smith Lake Road?
Can I have a motion to set a hearing for the abandonment of the end of Smith Lake Road?
Yeah.
Lori will provide us with the specs on it, cause it's gotta be, there has to be an official survey and abandonment by the town and adoption by the homeowner, et cetera, et cetera. You know all that better than I do.
I have sample ones from that we do in
Oh, I could do
Delaware.
that.
It's,
Similar.
it's basically, I actually wrote the last one we did, it was.
Could you write the ad? I'll put it in the
wherefore,
paper
whereas.
if you could write it up so it's right.
Okay,
I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I
no problem.
I looked at it last month and I looked at the map that we have of Smith Lake Road. I was like, how am I gonna write this? I don't know from where to where or what from what.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that. Anybody else? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Alright.
All right, everybody get home safe.
How many thousand bills you got down there yet, Paul?
Adjourn to pay bills.